For most of human history, a home meant safety. But somewhere along the way, that meaning changed. Today, housing isn't just shelter. It's one of the biggest financial assets on Earth. Homes are traded, flipped, securitized, and speculated on, sometimes by people who never intend to live in them. So how did shelter become a stock ticker? And what happens to society when homes become investment, not places to live? After World War II, housing was seen as a social right. Governments across the industrial world built massive public housing projects. In Britain, millions lived in council estates. In the US, veterans bought homes through the GI Bill and federally backed loans. Singapore's government turned public housing into a national project. Owning or renting wasn't about profit, it was about stability. But in the 70s, everything changed. Economic stagnation, high inflation, and political shifts gave rise to new ideas: privatization, deregulation, and free market. In the UK, Margaret Thatcher's right to buy policy sold off public housing. In the US, Ronald Reagan's deregulation encouraged private lending. Owning a home wasn't just social policy anymore. It became personal investment strategy. As one economist put it, asset-based welfare replaced the welfare state. In the 80s, finance discovered the magic formula: mortgage securitization. Banks realized they could package home loans into financial products, mortgage-backed securities, and sell them to investors. Every suburban house became part of a global investment network. The more loans issued, the more securities created, and the more profit made. That led to a dangerous cycle of overlending and speculation. When risky mortgages finally collapsed in 2008, the entire world's economy followed. Homes were lost, banks were rescued. The housing market, once a social foundation, became a source of global instability. Even after the crash, the logic of housing as investment didn't die. It evolved. Private equity firms like Blackstone bought tens of thousands of foreclosed homes and turned them into rental portfolios. Foreign investors poured money into cities like London, New York, and Vancouver, not to live there, but to store wealth. Apartments became safe deposit boxes in the sky, and new platforms like Airbnb blurred the line between home and business, converting residential housing into tourist assets. Governments helped us along through tax breaks on home sales, mortgage deductions, and ultra-low interest rates that fueled asset inflation. In short, policy, finance, and culture all aligned around one idea. A house isn't just a home, it's a profit center. But this transformation came at a price. In cities around the world, property values have far outpaced incomes. According to 2025 data, the median home in Hong Kong costs over 14 times the median income. Sydney, nearly 14 times. San Jose, 12 times. For younger generations, the dream of home ownership is slipping away. Sociologists call them generation rent, locked out of ownership, often dependent on family wealth to buy in. And as the rich buy more, the divide grows deeper. Those who own property grow wealthier through capital gains. Those who rent fall further behind. Meanwhile, whole neighborhoods are reshaped by speculation. Developers build for investors, not residents. Vacant luxury apartments sit dark at night while housing waiting lists grow longer. Cities are transforming, not for people, but for capital. The irony is striking. When housing collapsed in 2008, governments spent billions rescuing the financial system. But afterward, the same policies, low interest rates, cheap credit, made real estate even more expensive. The result? A system where rising housing prices are seen as economic success, even though they push millions out of the market. Housing has become the cornerstone of modern capitalism, but a fragile one. It drives consumption, borrowing, and growth until it crashes. It doesn't have to be this way. Cities like Vienna have shown another path. More than half of all rental homes there are publicly owned or run by non-profits. Rent is stable, communities thrive, and speculation is limited. Other models like community land trusts keep land in collective ownership, so homes stay permanently affordable. And policies such as vacancy taxes or limits on corporate ownership can help cool speculative demand. But fixing housing isn't just about economics, it's about values. Do we see homes as investments or as rights? The story of housing mirrors the story of our economy itself. We once built for people, we now build for profit. Financialization didn't just change housing, it changed what it means to belong. The good news is that systems built by policy can be rebuilt by policy. Reclaiming housing as a social good isn't utopian, it's necessary. Because in the end, a home isn't just an asset on a balance sheet, it's where life happens. And maybe that's where value should begin again.